Hello everyone. In the last video of the topic federalism, we have discussed at last that how India is a federation. Today we will discuss how federalism practiced in India. Actually, if we, although our constitution did not use federation, but we have the federal features. Now the question is, okay, we have the federal feature, but how it get practiced? कथनी और करनी, कहने को हाँ फेडरलिज्म है, लेकिन क्या करनी में है? कथनी और करनी में अंतर है या है वास्तव में? यस, हमारे यहाँ फेडरलिज्म प्रैक्टिस में है. एंड फॉर दैट वी विल डिस्कस द थ्री टॉपिक्स. यस, लेट अस स्टार्ट विद द फर्स्ट वन, द लिंग्विस्टिक स्टेट्स. Linguistic states, we know, if you look at the map of India at the time of 1947, which has been already mentioned on your page 18 in your book, and if you look at the map of 2020, you will find many differences. Many states were created, many states name get changed, their areas, their boundary get reorganized. So when the country get our independence, the people started demanding to create a state first on the basis of language. We have already discussed that the objective of federalism is to promote and maintain the unity, at the same time accommodate diversity. So here this accommodation of language and other we will discuss in this topic. Language policy. So first, in South India there was a Madras state, and under that the people of Telugu speaking, they started reorganizing themselves and demanding the creation of state on the basis of language Telugu. That is Andhra Pradesh. And finally the state reorganization commission was formed in 1953, and in 1956 this act was passed, State Reorganization Act, and by that act 14 states and 6 union territories were created. So to accommodate the language of the region, state were created. Initially our nationalist leaders were hesitant because at that time our country get partitioned. So they were apprehensive that if we will start creating a state on the basis of language, there are 114 languages. So they does not want to open the Pandora box. But it has been proved that the creation of state has made our federalism as well as democracy stronger. And states have been not created on the basis of language, like Andhra Pradesh, Telugu speaking, Karnataka, Kannada speaking, Tamil Nadu, Tamil speaking, Kerala, Malayalam speaking. Bombay state was divided into two parts, Maratha, Maharashtra, Gujarat speaking Gujarat. So Gujarati speaking Gujarat. So this way the state get reorganized on the basis of language. States get also organized on the basis of ethnicity. Ethnicity means, for example, Naga tribe. So on their demand, the state get created Nagaland. Similarly, the Kuki tribe, on their demand, the Manipur was created. At the same time, the states get also created on the basis of culture, like tribal culture. Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, it get created to accommodate the diverse culture. At the same time, to pay respect to the geography, the states get created, like Uttarakhand, like Telangana recently. The purpose was to accommodate diversity in a form of language, in a form of ethnicity, in a form of culture, in a form of geography, etc. Now come to the next one, that language policy. By this policy, we also try to accommodate the various languages. We did not impose. We know Hindi, over 40% people speak Hindi in India, but they are not in majority. And that is why we did not make, despite of all hue and cry we haven't any national language. We haven't any, no national languages we have. No national language we have. And the official language is Hindi and English. Why English? Because to keep respect of the sentiments of non-Hindi speaking people. The purpose was to accommodate the diversity. The purpose was not to impose Hindi upon the non-Hindi speaking people. This was a compromise made by the constitution makers. It has been also made that this system will continue up to 1965 for 15 years. And this 15 years, once it gets completed, there was a promotion. There is an official policy of the government to promote Hindi, but English still continued even after 1965 as an official language for keeping the sentiments of non-Hindi speaking people. So now there are 22 constitutional languages. They are in the schedule of the Constitution of India, and that is why it is called scheduled languages also. UPSC conduct exams in these languages. So this language accommodation is another feature of federalism. Now the third one, center-state relations. If we look toward the center-state relations, there it can be divided into two phases, pre-1990s and post-1990s. In pre-1990s, in general, at the national level and at the regional level, at both places, the government of same party, that was the Congress party, exists. And if the leaders, towering leaders like Nehru and Indira Gandhi, in front of those people, it was very difficult for a CM to assert their rights in front of these leaders, because one reason is that they were the towering leaders. Second, these chief ministers belong to their states, and if any chief minister, second is if any chief minister belonged to the non-Congress party, they were dismissed on one or other pretext. For example, for the first time in Kerala, in the world, a communist government democratically elected and formed, but that government was dismissed, and the CM at that time was EMS Namboodiripal. So it happened oftenly. It undermined the features of federalism by dismissing a democratically elected government. एक जनता द्वारा चुनी सरकार को डिसमिस कर दिया. क्यों? क्योंकि वो नॉन कांग्रेस थी. लेकिन अब जब पोस्ट 1990s की बात करते हैं, 1990 के दशक की जब बात करते हैं, तो बहुत सारे चेंजेज आए. पहला चेंज आया, बहुत सारे राइज ऑफ रीजनल पार्टीज इन द मेनी स्टेट्स. क्षेत्रीय पार्टियां बन के आई. और दूसरा, द बिगिनिंग ऑफ कोalition एरा. गठबंधन सरकार का केंद्र में युग शुरू हुआ. और ये बहुत बड़ी बात है. गठबंधन का मतलब हो गया मेनी पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज हैव अपॉर्चुनिटी टू शेयर द पावर, एंड दिस इज द बेसिक फीचर ऑफ फेडरलिज्म. पावर शुड नॉट बी इन वन पार्टी, वन हैंड. इट शुड बी शेयर्ड अमॉन्ग द मेनी लेवल, many people, many groups, many class. And the third thing happened in the post-coalition era, that a major judgment of the Supreme Court, which prevented the central government to dismiss the state government on flimsy ground, or to dismiss in arbitrary manner. So this made our federalism more healthier. Okay? Now come to the next topic. Creation of third level, means formation of local government. In 1992, our constitution form passed two Amendment Act and 73rd Amendment Act, Panchayati Raj Act, 74th Amendment Act, Municipal Corporation Act. And this act further decentralized the power at the grassroots level, at the local level, whether it is cities or villages. Now, by these acts brought changes in the functioning, in the system of local government, which was not earlier existing. Yes, there was earlier attempts to brought the third level of government, but it was a futile exercise. But this effort in 1992 made the federalism more stronger, more deeper democracy it is. Now, first point of this, the combined general feature of this amendment. One, now it is constitutionally mandatory to hold election after every 5 years. One. Second, seats get reserved for OBC, for SC and STs. Third, at least 1/3 seat get reserved for women. We know the women's seat has not been reserved in the state legislature or the parliament, but 1/3 seat get reserved for the women. It can be increased. For example, in Bihar, 50% seats are reserved for the women. Next, there will be a state election commission, independent state election commission in every state, who will look after the conduction of election after every 5 years. And the fifth one, the state government has to share the administrative as well as financial power to these bodies. And we know the Panchayati Raj system has brought 3-tier level, the Gram Panchayat, the block level, the Jila Parishad level. Similarly, the municipal corporation also had the 3-tier system. And this system brought so many changes, so many advantages. For example, over 40 million people are representing these bodies, and so many countries of the world, they have a population of